Thank you very much for meeting with us, Claude Moraes. Yesterday at the US Congressman and Chair of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, Mike Rogers, said that surveillance had prevented at least 54 acts of terrorism. Where does the balance lie between protecting privacy and preventing terrorism?
Well, there's always a balance between security and privacy, and that's of course the eternal question. And what's important for us in the inquiry, important for me as a Member of Parliament, I represent London where we had the 7/7 attacks, is that fighting terrorism is critical. Although terrorist attacks can be seen sometimes as relatively sparse or few, each attack is extremely devastating and can have very deep and wide effects. Therefore, terrorism must be fought, and therefore we have always got to remember that. So I think getting the balance right between using data to capture terrorists is a very important thing, and that must never be forgotten. So it's always the question of where you draw the line, and that's all we're doing. I think we're looking at allegations which were very serious. Every national parliament has to do that, has done that virtually in every country. They've had inquiries, small and large, and the European Parliament has to do that. That's what's expected. And in that inquiry we get to your question, which is, where is the line drawn? That's it. That's the crux of it. And there has to be some line drawn between the two things.
The Congressman also categorically denied that the US engaged in surveillance for commercial purposes. Edward Snowden has revealed that the US National Security Agency was spying on commercial companies in Brazil. How damaging are these revelations, given that the EU is currently negotiating a new trade agreement with the US?
Well, the revelations talk about where there are allegations that data gathering and surveillance was used for purposes other than to capture terrorists or for security, and that's the issue. Now, as an inquiry, we are not a court of law. We're not a lie detector test. We can never 100% guarantee that we will know with clear evidence what the truth is. We can gather circumstantial evidence, we can gather opinions. So at the end of the day, we can gather a sense of whether this is happening, and we are gathering, a sense that perhaps there is a mass gathering of metadata, and that this has some deep implications. And there is a gathering sense with the federal court judgment and other gathering issues and a gathering pace that there is a real problem. And you've also got allegations coming from very senior people, Angela Merkel herself, and these have to be investigated. So basically what we're doing here is we're trying to figure out why this would be happening. Is it for commercial purposes? Is it because agencies have got too big? And our primary purpose really is to figure out, is this happening? But really, if it is happening, what framework should we be putting in place between the EU and the US and within the European Union to ensure a certain level of privacy for European Union citizens? That's our aim.
And as a British MEP, are you concerned about GCHQ's involvement in mass surveillance?
Well, I'm sitting as a rapporteur for the whole of the Parliament here, so in that sense my nationality is not relevant. I'm rapporteur for the Parliament, so I'm looking at all Member States, and in my report I will be talking about all Member States, including my own. So there'll be a survey of all. In fact, in the inquiry we've interviewed people from all Member States, surveillance activities from many Member States. I think most EU Member States where there has been an issue, we've interviewed the parliamentary scrutiny committees, we've interviewed former intelligence personnel, whistleblowers, NGOs from those Member States. So I think without fear or favour we have looked at most key Member States where there has been an issue. Germany, France, United Kingdom, Sweden, Denmark, so on. So I think that's what we have to do because we represent 28 countries within the EU.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moraes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.